Hey guys, hope you're all well. This is Finding Yourself with Kyle Duffy. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you do enjoy the video, I also have a podcast called Finding Yourself, which is available to listen to up on Anchor FM and Spotify. So if you like this video and you like other videos you see on my channel, you can always check out my podcast up on those two platforms as well. And again, if you do enjoy today's video, please consider hitting subscribe and follow me along my YouTube and podcasting journey. On my channel here, I talk a lot about my passions, which include movie, TV, sports, and gaming. I kind of talk about them in my podcast, Finding Yourself, as well. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I hope you're a fan because I have just fallen in love with this show in the past couple of years. I talk about it on the podcast a lot. I think I dedicated a full episode to it back when my podcast was kind of like a mini podcast up on YouTube. I used to upload shorter videos to YouTube and had them maybe between 7 and 10 minutes. And I used to do movie reviews and TV show reviews as well. Back when I started the podcast last year, I knew I wanted to talk about movie and TV, but I didn't know what else I wanted to talk about in the realm of podcasting. So to start off, I kind of did mini episodes where I reviewed a TV show or a movie that I was really passionate for or hated, So I started on YouTube doing shorter videos. Since then, I've kind of progressed the podcast and now I do longer episodes, maybe 30 to 60 minutes long, available up on Spotify and Anchor FM. But yeah, one of my first episodes was talking about Always Sunny and how much I love the show, how I got into it. And I do owe my love of Always Sunny to my fiance Leanne. She introduced me to the show. I think I must have come over to her house about 1,000 times, and every time I come over, she'd be in the middle of an Always Sunny episode. And I don't know why, but I just had this aversion to it at the start. I had this like deep seated hate whenever I saw it on TV. I was like, I'll turn that shit off. But there was one night I came over to visit her in her home house and she had an episode on, and it was the episode where they buy a boat to try and get a boat business going or something like that. And I walked into the episode when it was halfway through. I think it was 10 minutes in. And as usual, I said to Leanne, turn that off. Let's watch something else. And she said, no, give it a chance. I want you to love this show. Give it a chance, please. And I was like, okay, fine. Sat through that episode and I just fell in love instantly. And I think for Leanne, she needed me to like that show because there's nothing worse than having a partner who doesn't like the same shows you like. I know it's a small thing, but we watch TV every day. We're streaming constantly nowadays. And a TV show can stay in your life for years down the line. Take Friends, for example. Although that show has ended years ago, it's still in people's lives now. It's still in couples' lives. And it could be your favorite show as a couple. And you could rewatch the show over and over again. And having the shared love of a show just brings it closer together as a couple, in my opinion. So I was really glad that I was able to love this show as much as Leanne loves it, and that we were able to bond over it as a couple. And we still rewatch seasons of the show like it's brand new. We never get tired of it. And that's what I want to talk about today. There's many shows in the past that have made a mark, a small mark, on our culture, have kind of stayed around for a bit, had its 15 minutes of fame, had maybe a cult following for a while, but eventually ends up getting cancelled. This has not been the case with Always Sunny. They just released season 15 on Netflix last night. Me and Leanne watched the first 4 episodes and we were smiling and laughing through each episode. So excited to start it. We wanted to binge the entire series in the one night, but we had a bit of restraint. We decided to watch 4 last night. We're going to watch the next 4 tonight, make a date night of it, and really just savor this show. Because I found season 14 and I'm finding season 15 very bingeable. It's just a very easily watched show. You can just sit down, turn your brain off, laugh at things you shouldn't be laughing at. I want to get into that in a bit now. But just turn your brain off and relax and enjoy the show. And that's what Always Sunny has been doing consistently since it aired in 2005. And that's a very hard thing for any show to do. Never mind Always Sunny. I want to get into that as well. Always Sunny, if you know about the show, if you're a fan, you'll know that it's not exactly the most PC show out there. And that's one thing I find so impressive about this show. For a show like Always Sunny, a non PC show, probably the most non PC show out there right now, it's surviving in a very PC climate, a very PC controlled culture right now. And not only surviving, but thriving. This show has a great ability to allow us to gravitate towards and relate to bad characters, bad people. In this show, obviously, the characters of Sweetie, Dennis, Mac, and Charlie, and Frank, they're all bad people, and they only get worse as the series goes on. And it's a very anti comedy and anti sitcom trope that they're displaying on screen. And it's a very unique perspective. I mentioned this when I first talked about the show in one of my first episodes of my mini podcast. But Always Sunny has kind of paved their own path to success. They really have. And because it's their path, they kind of dictate what they can and can't do. And because the show's creators are the people who are starring in it, Glenn Howerton, who plays Dennis, Rob McElhenney, and Charlie Day, they all have a creative process to play in the show, either as directors of an episode, in the writing process, obviously they're acting in the show as well. So they have their hands in this show in a lot of different areas. And because they do, it's a labor of love every season. And you can see that in Always Sunny. Every time they have a chance to promote their show, they promote it. Every time they have a chance to say something good about the show, they do, because it's their baby. And it's very obvious, like I said, when you watch the show, that it is a labor of love and that this show does mean so much to them. And I think that's a big reason why Always Sunny has stayed successful, stayed consistent, and the quality has never really dipped. It's only risen, because everyone that was involved in this show on day one has stayed involved. The main players are still there. The writing process is the same, and the character development really never dips because, like I said, Charlie Day is still there. So is Rob McKinley, Caitlin Olsen, as well as Glenn Howerton. And their perspective of the show has only grown as time has gone on as well. This becomes very evident when you listen to their podcast, the Always Sunny podcast, because they talk about every episode in detail. They talk about what it's like to make the show and how they came to understand their characters better by also writing the show along with acting in it. And I think that having all the main players involved in the show from the get-go and still involved now is one of the main reasons why the show has never lost its staying power. Like I said, season 15 so far has been amazing. I really don't want to finish it because I'm just going to want to rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it. And I'll want season 16 even faster. So I'm going to just savor the next 4 episodes tonight. And obviously, as someone from Ireland, I can't wait to watch the next episode, because the next episode they actually go to Ireland. I think Colin Meaney is in this episode. Can't wait for it. But I implore you, if you haven't already, to watch this show. And if you have watched the show, I hope you feel the same way about it as I do. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on the show. Are you excited to watch season 15? Have you watched it already? Please let me know in the comments section below. I just really wanted to use this video today as a love letter to the show and to thank the cast, Glenn Howerton, Rob McKinley, Charlie Day, Caitlin Olsen, and Danny DeVito, for your performances in the show and for bringing this show to the ethos. Everyone is used to the stereotypical sitcom. This is not your stereotypical sitcom, so thank you for giving us something fresh and new that, to be honest, I don't think I'll ever get tired of. I can't wait to see where this show goes next. I hope to God there's many seasons to come. Again, I'd love to know your opinion about this show in the comment section below. Please let me know your opinions and thoughts on Always Sunny. If you haven't seen this show, I implore you to watch it because it is one of the best shows out there. And if you don't know, now you know. I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider hitting like and subscribe and follow me along my YouTube and podcasting journey. This has been Finding Yourself with Kyle Duffy. Thanks for listening.